I think a lot of people look at SUBSTAT like this on their feathers or flowers and they think, wow, that's really good. But they don't realize you can easily do a lot better than that. Feather and flower is actually surprisingly very easy to get good stat on, and are pieces where you should try to push for better substat and try to be more greedy about your substat. They're all the same set. Oh my mo. And you guys might be thinking about how I'm talking about how every piece have attack percent main stat, so you don't need to care about the main stat and you can just look for substat. And while that is part of it, that's not the only thing I'm talking about. Feather and flower are just a lot easier to roll in comparison to other pieces of your artifact because of how Genshin Impact work. In case you didn't know, you cannot get a substat line that is equal to your main stat line. For example, on your critical rate circlet, you cannot get critical rate as a part of your substat line. And this also applies to the feather and the flower. For flower, you have HP as your main stat, meaning you cannot get flat HP on your substat line. Why that is important is because that essentially removes one possible bad line out of all the substat line that you can roll. In comparison, for the circlet, it actually removes one good substat line that you can possibly roll on your substat. There are currently 10 substat lines that you can roll in Genshin Impact, however, you cannot actually get one of them because that is your main stat, so you really only have 9. If we consider flat defense, flat HP, flat attack, HP percent, defense percent to be bad substat, elemental mastery, energy recharge as okay substat, and finally attack percent, critical rate, critical damage at good substat, then for a flower, we actually have a 44% ratio of bad substat and a 33% ratio of a good substat. However, for your circlet, assuming that you have a critical rate main stat, that actually means that about 55% of the substat you can get are bad, while only 22% of the substat you can get is good. This little change actually dramatically shifts the favor into rolling a good feather or good flower in comparison to rolling something like a good circlet. This can actually be illustrated using a very simple probability problem. Suppose bad substat are represented using blue ball, good substat are represented using red ball, and finally okay substat are represented using green ball. Then we ask, what is the chances of us rolling all 3 red ball? What is the chances of us rolling at least 2 red ball and a green ball? If we consider that every artifact have 4 substat, then the chances is actually 5 and 23% respectively. So you have 5% chance to get all 3 attack percent, critical rate, and critical damage every time you'll try to level a feather and a flower. So you have a 23% chances of rolling at least 2 of attack percent, critical rate, and critical damage, as well as at least 1 okay stat, so elemental mastery or energy regeneration. In comparison, for a circlet, first of all, it's impossible to roll all 3 good stat because one of them is used by your main stat. More importantly is that to roll 2 red ball and 1 green ball, meaning 2 good substat and 1 okay substat, your chances is actually only 8% chances. So it is actually just harder to get good substat line on your circlet, and that's not even counting the fact that you need to look for a good main stat as well. So for example, if you see something like a healing bonus, you're already not going to use that already. Healing bonus, not going to use that. So you need to look for a good main stat piece. And once you find a good main stat piece, you need to hope it has good substat piece as well. In comparison, for the flowers and the feathers, you don't need to care about main stat. So that automatically gives you a lot more artifact to work with. And then you just need to check if the substat is good at all. And for most cases, you can actually find something really good. I currently do account review on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Tenten where I log into your account and check every single aspect of your account and tell you where you can improve. And I think one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is that people not recognizing that feathers and flower have very high potential, and they are missing out on a lot of potential on some of their like super good flowers or feathers. These kind of account review generally take about 15 to 30 minutes, sometimes even longer, depending on how complex your account is, and is available to everyone for free just using channel point redemption. So come and check it out. Oh wait, what's right here? See, picking up treasure from your inventory. It's really easy to find treasure from flowers and feathers. It's really easy to find treasure from flowers and feathers. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying when you can just look for good flowers or feathers. It's really easy to find because you don't need main stat. Like right here, good treasures. Attack percent crit rate, so potentially really good. Maybe roll crit damage if you're lucky. And if you don't, we can roll a lot of crit rate. Attack percent crit damage ER. See? More treasures. More treasure for your Shanling right here. Moving on, I would actually just suggest you taking every single flowers and feather to +4 to check if it roll anything good, and then maybe higher like +8 or +12 to check if they roll anything good, and if they don't, just move on to the next one and see. So here I have energy recharge and crit damage, which is one okay substat and one good substat. So if I take this to +4, I can check what I get, and I actually get attack percent. This is actually the first one I rolled it, and it just happened to turn out like this, just to show you it's actually not that rare at all. I would suggest taking almost every feather to +12 if possible, just to see if they roll, in case you roll anything good, and then just move on to the next feathers and flowers. If they don't, just feed it into the next one so you can recycle the artifact EXP over. And you might say something like, oh, just because it started with good substat does not mean it will end up with really good roll. It could go really wrong and roll all of them into HP percent. And that is true, but unfortunately that's just how Genshin Impact is, and there's no way around it. Because the chances of you rolling into like crit damage on this piece is the same as you rolling crit damage on any other piece. So what I mean is like there's 1 in 4 chance to roll crit damage here, and it's 1 in 4 chance to roll crit rate here as well. So the chances of this having the same CV as something like this is basically equivalent at the end. It is just that when you happen to get unlucky and you don't roll crit damage, then at least you can roll into something else which potentially might help you as well. For example, energy recharge could really help when you're playing like Morgana, because Ganyu want to spam her elemental burst, and of course attack percent can really help as well. Once again, when it comes to rolling artifact, your other pieces are just going to be harder to roll. For example, your circlet, you need to find the right main stat, usually crit rate or crit damage, and when you do find the right main stat, because it cannot appear in the substat, it actually make your substat harder to roll because you have the good main stat already. So it's a lot harder to find something like a good circlet in comparison to rolling like a good feathers and good flowers. And so what you should do is totally to try to be greedy on your feathers and flower, to try to push for like something really good, which make up for the difference that you lose in your circlet. So for example, if I just quickly go over my flowers, let's go from attack percent crit rate, that's not bad. Attack percent crit rate, attack percent crit rate, see? Immediately crit damage crit rate with EM, crit damage crit rate with ER. So for example, my Shao can use this. You can immediately see like a lot of these actually have really good potential. Maybe I roll like a 4th good start on this. So attack percent on this, crit damage on this, crit damage on this, crit damage on this, like something like that. And one of these are bound to like roll good, right? Or at least I hope so. Anyway, a lot of people have been telling me that my account review are really helpful on Twitch since they go really in depth, and so they're asking if I could make video on them as well because they think it will help out a lot of people, including my YouTube audience. And so this is kind of like the first video of how to improve your account, where I kind of teach you something like very basic, like, oh, finding good feathers and flowers are a lot easier than finding like your sands and circlet, so you should try harder to find a good one instead of settling on a mediocre one. Thank you for watching as always, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll try my best to make more account progression video, so I'll talk to you guys next time.